A lot, guys. How's it going? How we?
Yeah.
Ikado's still treated like a second-class citizen. Bro, I don't make the graphics, okay? I just put people in them.
He's still working on getting residency in the graphic.
Yep. He's gotta get his green card.
Yeah. His graphic green card.
Jeez.
Then I have to import you each, like, one by one. But then after I import you, I have to mute you in the OBS Ninja. Otherwise, we get, like, echoey. So if anyone sounds like a robot at any point in time, it's because I forgot to mute you on OBS Ninja.
Or it could just be that I'm a robot.
Or it could be your inner robot showing. Yeah.
Or we are
Jordan,
robots.
how's it
Yeah.
going?
What's up?
Who do you think is the most likely to be a robot out of like the MR players? You know? That's what I want to know.
It is 100% not me. I grew this skin myself on my body that is human.
Hello, fellow humans.
Hello, fellow humans.
Kever. What?
Caver, whoa.
That's a hot take right there.
Kevin is
No.
the most likely to be a robot.
I don't know.
No
man.
one with a beard that lunches could be a robot. That's not how it works.
No, see, that's how they
The
get
thing
past
is, like,
you.
Robots can't grow
Kev
beards.
could be a robot because
dumbass.
he's programmed to play LOR the best, you know?
Ah, that's good.
I think it's
makes
a-
sense.
That's a good point. He's grinding on ladder, man. He's trying to get up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of.
I made my donation the other day.
Oh yeah. Well, that was very kind of you. Very kind of you.
Yeah.
I
I queued against him, and I insta conceded, and he was like, "Did you just not want to play the 35-minute mirror matchup?"
and you get to help the boy. It's a win-win. I was actually pretty sad that I hit 550 and I was like, hell yeah. And then all I just really wanted to keep going because like I was actually really enjoying it. I was playing a lot of different stuff. I was kind of mixing it up, and then you go to like your silver Smurf account and your matches just don't matter. It's so much less fun.
Just do it, man. Just keep going.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Race an Amber to 1,000.
I don't really want to do that because what will happen is I'll race him back down to 0, and then I'll be like, why did I listen?
Just don't lose.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
very
don't know if
smart.
you considered that line, but I think that would help out.
it does seem like a good idea. I'm gonna be honest. Let
Yeah.
me exit out of Runeterra so you guys don't have to hear the home theme the whole time. So yeah, this part of the podcast is new to Twitch chat. Normally we sit here and talk for about 10 minutes about absolutely nothing and then go, we should probably start streaming.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were live. I'm glad I didn't chime in.
That's half the reason why I said that.
Jason usually says something quite inflammatory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if the stream starts out, with us seeming like we're already on edge, it's because they've already been fighting with each other. It's
Look,
Yeah.
he started it this time.
Well, this time nobody's gonna start it. Well, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
very
we're
nice.
not doing this.
On
this week.
live?
and cordial.
it's okay. I'll instigate. Don't worry.
Oh my
I heard Akaido
I
said
got
all
him
of your.
That's new.
for us.
I don't have a permanent name yet, right? So.
He doesn't have much to lose here, right?
Yeah, better watch out, bud. You're still on
Yeah.
trial.
Has it 90 kids yet? Like,
Uh,
on a serious note.
I think it might be
I think
about
so.
90 days.
When does
Because
Akaido join?
Icona wasn't in it for Worlds.
Oh, that's true.
No,
Was he?
Yeah,
hell
right.
no. What the fuck? I
No,
thought
you
we-
weren't.
You weren't at Worlds.
No,
you
it's
weren't at
afterwards.
Worlds.
Okay, it was afterwards.
Yeah.
So like October.
I had to prove
I'm not-
myself. I
I'm
had
not
to
done
out-
hazing him yet.
Close.
Yeah,
We can't upgrade him just yet.
I had to outplace Majin in a tournament first before I had a chance.
That is true. Yeah.
Before I had
That
the
is true.
extended invitation.
So yeah, it'd be about exactly 3 months ago. It's kind of nuts.
Woo!
Yeah. Almost there. Maybe you'll get your own nameplate. Who knows?
Speaking of time and milestones, Majin and I are coming up on 1-year anniversary in like a couple weeks of the
Yes,
podcast.
guys.
You're married.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Yeah, hit a year on streaming last month. That was pretty crazy. It's just weird that it's been a year, and it's weird that it's only been a year at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's one of
it
those
feels
things.
like way longer, and then also it feels like a breeze by.
Yes. Yeah. But that's not a long time for like. I mean, I know my whole life changed basically in the last year. Like I didn't do anything like this, and now this is majority of what I do, from like when I wake up to when I go to bed. I didn't even really play Runeterra.
It's a big change, eh? That's like
Mhm.
it's kind of wild.
Yep, it's exciting
It's
stuff. So, I know, Jason, have you done your little interview thing with the peeps? You did that already?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I asked them. They're like, "What can we do to help you?" And I was like, "I want in real life events so I can hang out with my friends." And they were like, "What would help with your content?" And I was like, "In real life events so I can film with my friends." Like, what do you think would grow your brand? I was like, "In real life events so I could collaborate with my friends."
I was literally
it would
just-
be a good time.
My answers were all just, could you nerf Targon harder because I live off of one of my tiers and I need sustenance.
Then you also have to you would have to deal with me whining about it in all our podcast episodes and everything. Doesn't seem worth it.
Jason loves that. Jason lives for that.
Targon anymore. Like I played it for 3 seasons and I'm just branded with this.
I actually don't play on this part of the year.
9 decimates in the last thing I showed up to, man.
That's true.
I might love Targon more than anyone at this point. I absolutely
Yeah.
adore Targon.
Yeah.
Still worth it. Take you with me.
It's I just like honestly, if we get a Fangs buff and then like one other
Please.
thing,
Better
I'd
be
do that.
another
I'd be
thing.
happy.
Give me 3 attack fangs and I will play 9-star shaping again.
Yeah.
Immediately.
You say you want a fucking Fangs buff. Can you imagine though, like Captain at a Fangs, and it's like this fucking 4/3?
I can imagine. Yes.
Currently
No.
imagining. Yeah.
Oh, right? What if we did?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's just like Tasty Fade-Folk +1. That's not that OB.
Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that.
it's
It,
not that
it,
good.
definitely
Fine,
doesn't like
don't
generating
worry
cards
about
or anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
2/2
it's
serpents
great.
are also gonna be fine.
Two serpents, yeah. I mean that would probably be the best way, but it's not very good. But I do love the Nami Aphelios deck. That deck's so fun. And then if I could play
It's
Fangs in
even.
that, just picture in your head real quick that like not only did Aphelios was he a 3/3 that had 2 mana weapons, Serpent was a 2/1, Fangs was a 3/2, Star Shaping healed 5, and Temple gave +1/+1 all at the same time.
That deck did that deck even play fangs most of the time? The deck was so good, I
No.
don't think it even played under fangs.
Yeah, it was like too good to play Fangs.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Imagine.
Mm-hmm. It's less imagining and more like reminiscing very happily.
I mean,
The good old days.
we could just,
Cool.
ask him to unnerf Temple, right? That'd be fine.
That'd be okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually loved that meta because I got to play Skies Descent. Because if you're gonna play a deck that does absolutely nothing until like turn 8 or 9 and just dicks around, I will descend you, and I'm very okay with that.
I got to play Zoe Karma all the time.
Right? It's the same theory.
Mhm. Just too fun, man. Too fun.
I mean, Master and Terra hasn't won a seasonal since then, right? So I mean,
That's true.
maybe it needs.
oh damn, yeah.
Really good.
How you by nerfing Targon, you're nerfing our whole team, man.
Exactly.
Not okay. So who's been playing ladder? I know Henneke, you've been on ladder. Ikata, you've been running some ladder, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Henneke,
I've been
not
like,
playing ladder.
I've been
playing ladder. I have not been winning.
Talk to us a bit about it. What are you running? What's not working?
I've basically just been playing Ari Cannon, and I can't win. So I don't know. That's that.
I don't know.
I mean, I
Solid.
can't climb. Like I'm playing it like exactly at like the 25-15
Yeah,
rate, and
the,
I'm
like,
just not going
60%. It's just
62% or
it's
something
just
like
not
that, which
quite
is like
enough,
not
yeah.
something I can be proud of, but I don't know.
But, like-
it's just not happening for me.
There's no deck across all win rates that has 60% win rate, and we never want that.
No.
So like unless
Yeah.
unless you're personally doing really, really well, like the most broken deck in the game isn't gonna let you climb.
Yeah, it's a skill gap.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
yeah, just skill gap.
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
Or like
there's
exploiting the
people
meta.
who are terrible, bringing the win rate way down. Like that's just how it is. Like the decks aren't ever going to be at that point, but a lot of good players are able to maintain that sort of play rate or
Yeah.
like win rate, right? Because like we say, skill does matter in this game.
It does. I mean, to
And I
be
still
fair,
have it.
most of us
Oh bullshit!
most of us couldn't every single day gain ALP, right? Like that's just not gonna happen, especially once you get up there. Especially for playing the same deck every single day. Like a lot of times, most of my like quick, huge gains in LP are from like exploiting a meta. Like everyone's playing this, so I play this, and I'm just ahead of the
Yeah.
curve. and I gain a quick 200, 300 LP, right?
What I'm hearing is it's time to play spiders.
I don't know about that.
Why not?
The issue with spiders, I don't know how much you guys have played in the last few days, but like basically over the weekend, it was just all scouts on ladder.
Yeah,
Like all
really?
scouts on
Yeah.
ladder. It was
I don't think I played
fucking
a
terrible.
single scout in the last 2 days.
I've only seen scouts. Like it's actually
It's
Hey,
crazy.
Like
the
I've
reason-
been
I don't know.
I've been on that ladder anxiety just because I don't want to be playing that matchup all fucking day. But like if you look at the stats, Ari Kennen isn't even close to the most played deck anymore. You could add up all 3 of the most popular Ari Kennen builds and it still doesn't match Scouts play rate. Scouts is huge right now.
Hmm.
That's because the things that beat scouts are basically dead, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you want to beat scouts, you show up with flock decks. And
Yeah.
what am I playing flock in right now?
I was
Still, Lurk has a favored matchup in the scouts.
Lurk.
It's like a
Yeah, I'm not
55%
surprised, honestly,
win
like,
rate
when-
into scouts.
Yeah, when you're seeing the decks that beat scouts are getting pushed out, like, doesn't everything beat scouts? That's not like very specifically like I don't know, like control-y.
Field
Like any
rush,
like
or,
anything mid range,
cannon.
like anything mid range, is like
Yeah, but
just
you're
count.
not-
My cards do stuff, you don't, so you die.
But you're not allowed to play mid range, right?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
If people are playing
Hmm.
SI Freljord control and Ionia bullshit, how do you play a mid range deck?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
most popular decks like
No
what,
one's playing
5
mid
days
range,
ago
It's not real.
was like FTR, Darkness, Ari Kennen in like that order. And you can play like Pantheon, which does do, I believe, pretty well in the
Can you?
scouts. You could.
Like, You can.
You can play Pantheon into FTR and Darkness.
Theoretically.
It's like it's kind of okay. I don't want to play Pantheon on ladder really.
What about Lulu Fizz? Lulu Fizz is kind of like the only deck that I'm afraid of playing Ari Kennen, and it seems like it's powerful enough to like go against, I don't know, something like Scouts or against failure decks.
I have had an extremely positive win rate against that deck with the go hard version of Ari Kennen. I don't know about the other versions, but being able to like ping away a Boom Baboon, set up the Kennens, deny or like block down, honestly, the Yordle and arms. It's been really good for me. But like I said, I don't play the other version with the Morn. So I don't know if it's because of the go hard version that the matchup feels so good for me, or if perhaps I've just ran
Probably.
into it good. Although the Fizz is bad into Ari Kennen, says Cup. I totally believe that.
I
Yeah.
think so too. Like even though it's all original, just like out.
Yeah, I
out
agree.
value
It's
them.
not.
What is that
Yeah,
deck good
the
into?
Pulver one isn't.
Lulu Fizz, it seems all right. Like
I think
sometimes
it's
it just
better.
like outstats you and just beats you down. Like if it has Yordle and arms on like 5 or 6, it'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't run out of value like as quickly as a lot of other, like Lulu decks. But at the same time, it feels like if you aren't hitting Yordle and arms, you aren't really doing much. And like I don't think it's actually favored into Ari Kennen. At least from what I've heard, it doesn't seem
It's
like that's the
definitely
matchup
not.
you want to run into.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
Right, Kennen just plays a Wayfinder and then you can't hit them the rest
Yeah.
of the game.
Mhm.
Like that's just how it is.
Kennen starts killing
And,
stuff real
yeah,
quick.
you get a value trade with your Yordle and arms if it resolves. But then they just refill their board, they clear some stuff out with Kennen, and then they keep playing Go Hards until their packs is up, and it's just over.
Yeah, I've never been really high on that deck. According to a matchup, it loses control and Ari Kennen beats other aggro. Not where I want to be. Not where I want to be. Like, just play control then. You know what I mean? I think the, like, tail of the tape, the big pop-up decks over the last few days have been, like, Scouts, obviously, right? And then I do think somewhere there's a really good Nami TF or Fizz deck. Like, really good.
Yeah, I've been playing TF Nami ever since Floppy played it in like Fight Night on Friday. And this deck is real. This deck is like actually
Yeah.
really fucking good, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard. I think it's going to take us a little while to like, for most people to figure out how to play it, but the stuff that this deck does,
It's
I
gross.
think it's a real deck.
It's gross.
I mean, it's TF Fizz, guys. Like, I
It is.
good.
It is quite like that.
Just level.
I think yeah, there's
just
definitely
get
some
out
Nami
to
build that's good. I mean, I think this is the best one we've seen so far. I was on like the Bandle Nami before, Nami
Yeah.
Fizz before, which also has like its own explosive things that it can do, but I don't think it's anywhere near what the TF Nami is capable of. This PNZ version of Flash of Brilliance, that one just seems kind of crazy.
It is pretty nice.
The stuff you can do with like Poro Cannon and Burblefish is just not okay. It's really not okay. And then you have Burn to finish it off. Like you just need one good swing.
I
Or
for-
like
Yeah.
the disgusting things you can do where like, you know, people hold up removal for TF, right? But if you drop a flipped Nami on 4 with 4 health, she's much harder to kill. And then you drop TF on 5 and suddenly he has like 6 health and it's like, oh wait, I can't kill him anymore. Like this I think this is a good deck.
Yeah, I was very impressed. Like, I forgot how good having 3 bot and like 3 mystic shots and a couple get excited is. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like at 9 and you're like,
Aye.
oh, like, I just kill you. This is sick. And like, yeah, you play against the control decks, and I was like, oh man, all my stuff is pretty avalancheable, but like that's just not the case when you have Nami and Shelly. And then there's always still the bot iterative bot line, which is still so strong. The deck feels good. I do think, like I think someone mentioned in chat, Ptash said it's I think it's a couple iterations away from like being very, very good, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like
No,
to
it's
see
a really
like to see
exciting
some more Nami. I like Nami, man. She's a cool champ. She's a cool champ.
Nami's a terrible champion. Terrible.
That's a
Yeah,
hot
no one
take
should play
right there,
Nami
friend.
ever.
Ever.
Like everyone who is playing against me in these tournaments and in seasonals should not play Nami. It is not a good champion, and you should not bring it.
Is that right?
Thanks,
Just
guys.
remember,
Yeah.
if you're on the
Right.
Nami decks and like your deck relies on Nami and she doesn't show up, you might lose at Worlds. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
fuck Nami.
I can relate.
Okay, so that's like the ladder. What about the tournament meta? Because it seems like pretty wild and wide open. I was curious. I know you didn't go deep with your
I
decimate.
got bodied.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wanted to preface with I know you didn't do super well, so I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to dagger you, but I was curious, how did it go?
Honestly,
Was it the play?
I actually still stand by the play. I think that showing up with this deck was really good. I played both matches and I felt like I had favored matchups in every game I was playing. I just drew badly twice and was out because that's what happens in single LM. And I know there's been some controversy about that, but I'm on the side that says, you know, y'all are awesome for putting this thing on at all. So, but as far as
there's
the
no other options. Your options are single limb or double limb, and we're not
Yeah.
doing double limb with 255 people
We
because I want to sleep eventually.
I unironically enjoy if it's going to be a tournament that's every single week. I unironically enjoy single elimination.
Yeah, I mean they both have their pluses and minuses, right? If you're a gamer, if you want to compete, Swiss is obviously
Swiss is
the way
so
to
much
go.
better. It's strictly better.
Of course. If you want to maybe do something else with your day that day, it's like single limb has its perks because you're not just like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be doing this for the next 6 hours, and then I'll probably just lose in the first round of top 8, and then like get a big thumbs up and do nothing on my Sunday. But like that's this is me now. Whereas now you can take that loss and just fucking go do something with your life.
Bro, why you
So,
gotta
yeah.
call me out like that? What the fuck? Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
This
with
past
sentiment.
weekend.
Oh, go ahead, Jason Station.
This past weekend.
Or Henneke.
Oh, you go. You. Whatever.
I was just gonna say, like, I queued into like 4W. I was playing triple aggro. He played like a turn 4 Radiant Guardian. I was like, yep, I gotta go get groceries. I gotta go cook lunch. I have the rest of the day to look forward to. You can go to the finals and play second, but you know, at least I have something to do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I had the same
I stand by the
experience.
play. I think that almost everyone in that tournament was vulnerable to decimates and aggro spam, and it wasn't the day for it. It didn't work out, but I'd do it again.
I don't know if you guys looked at like the top 8 for Master and Terra. But like the last one, like the last weekend, it was like, you know, a ton of people targeting Ari Kennen. There was like an idea here. There was like an identity of what the top 8 was. And I'm like, okay, I dig it. And I checked this week, so I'm like, there's a lot of random fucking lineups that like
Yeah.
make no
Yeah,
sense to
it
me.
really
There's
is.
a lot of lists that make no fucking sense to me. I don't know if I'm just not understanding the meta or what. I feel like I had a really good read on it because I went undefeated in OLS Swiss on day 1. And I just ended up top 4ing OLS. I didn't play in the Master and Terra. So like I was on Scout.
Yeah, but that's
Pocket
OLS,
Lulu,
so.
Ari Kennen. Yeah, exactly. I was just farming it while all the good players were playing Master and Terra.
Yeah, naturally.
But like, I don't know. Looking at what topped Master and Terra, there were some wild fucking lineups.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you go back 3 weekends now, it was 7 out of 8 Ari Kennen, and then there was 2 weekends ago, it was a bunch of anti Ari Kennen like control or aggro.
It was
like
like
the split
Darkness
And
Field
then
to rush the top 8.
and aggro.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the last weekend, now it's like, do you bring Ari Kennen? Do you hate Ari Kennen? And if you do hate Ari Kennen, are you going under it? Or are you going over it? Like, where do you choose? And so I think because of that, like the meta just ended up real fractured. And again, maybe it being single limb might have made a bit of a difference also. Because just if the meta ends up being super wide and open, well, then the top 8 ends up being somewhat super wide and open also, and then you just see people just doing all kinds of different stuff. And yeah, now it's like how do you target anything? It's like people are just all over the place.
It's hard because normally going into the Master Runeterra tournament, there's a lot of people who sign up for this that don't normally sign up for these weekend tournaments, right? If there's like 250 people, most of these people aren't playing every weekend. So, maybe it's a lot like seasonals where, you can't expect like the most well put together lineups, right? But even 4LW, who's, a perennial, incredibly strong player who got second place, he brought like Darkness in a counter scouts lineup, which makes no goddamn sense. Like, I don't know. I think people were just on some stuff this weekend. It was wild.
It was cool to see. It was exciting for Jason and I, right? Casting it, we got to be like, wait, is that Azirellia? Is that Zoe Lux? We just got to see so many like interesting decks. Interesting decks and interesting lineups. Just made it a lot more fun for us to watch.
Yeah, and then the winning lineup in Samantha Honey's hands, which was Kennen, Ari, Absolver, Action Sivir, and Pantheon Shyvana, was like, oh hey, let's just play 3 sort of like kind of good straightforward decks. Maybe you can't say that about AK, but like Action Sivir and Pantheon Shyvana are just kind of like, yeah, they're just like good stuff, but nothing like super crazy. Not trying to target anything. Like I guess they were kind of going to scouts, but like AK is not supposed to be great at scouts, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's not.
But I think him winning though probably has a lot more to do with him just picking 3 very solid decks and just being a very good player.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a huge proponent of the double Demacia lineup for a while now, and still am. I think like Pantheon plus any other Demacia rally deck is like really good because you get to ban Ari Kennen and then like they're just super strong.
Yeah, I think Sivir's kind of slept on right now, especially with how much controls in the meta. Spell shields, as it turns out, are still pretty good, and like Absolver OTKs are still pretty good. It's kind of awkward because you like have to ban Ari Kennen. You cannot play into Ari Kennen. That is not a winnable matchup. And like sometimes you're a little bit sus into aggro. But for the most part, I think that it's pretty reasonable to go with like double Demacia.
Yeah.
You could also just play Radiant Guardian and Sivir if you want to beat aggro, just as an aside.
Run 6/1 drops and then go like 2/2, like Radiant Bruiser or something like that.
Yeah.
Totally possible. Yeah, totally possible. I did find that like Radiant's been kind of clunky lately. At least like the couple times I've been playing it, it's just like never can get it to come down when I need it to. The exception was like that Zoe Lux deck. It was feeling quite good because you've come up the board in such a strong way already, like with your 3/4s on 3 and everything.
Do you think Radiant's gotten worse as players have gotten better? Like we saw it we saw it in coverage where it was like turn 5 and the aggro player was just like, yeah, play a guy. And the other, like Zoe Lux player, I think, was like, pass back with 5. And the aggro player was like, yeah, good, take your turn. Yeah, no attacks. And then they had like 3 extra units on the board or whatever. Because, that makes a huge difference, right? If people are just running into it, letting you proc it on 5, you're like,
let's be real though. Like, I was watching that game, and I'm pretty sure the Radiant Guardian deck won that. So
it did.
If having a card in my deck means I can give you 5 mana for your attack token, that still doesn't suck.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And I'm not saying that the card is now bad or anything like that. I'm just saying, do you think it lost value because like it could have been insane and now it's just good, or it could have been very good and now it's just good. But because people are a little bit more aware of playing around it, whereas like people used to never really play around it. People would just jam into me on 5 all the time. And I would just drop my Radiant Guardian. Never really thought about it. And now you're seeing people make plays like that a lot more often.
I think
that was the only question.
I think it's just like differently powerful, right? Like, before it was like, okay, well, if you attacked into me, I just auto win the game because I get this lifesteal down. But now it's like, okay, well, if people are like playing around it, you know, maybe I don't actually have it. Maybe I can just bluff it. Maybe I can come back on the board because they're attacking me one less turn. The big issue is when they're so far ahead on board that like you not developing on turn 5 and them just like continuing to develop and then attacking is like killing you. And then like even your Radiant coming down isn't enough, right? That's the really awkward part of it. I don't know. Radiant's still a good card.
Yeah, I agree.
Pat would like us to remember that this card has been nerfed as
Yeah.
well. Like, it definitely used to be better when it had an extra attack.
I don't even
Wait,
remember it being a 5/5. When did that nerf happen?
I don't either.
That was before my time.
Like a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
If it happened before seasonals started, it doesn't count. Okay, that is the dark times.
The Wild
Okay,
West,
that's
yeah.
like, that's like, it's like, you know what? Back in like the 11th century, they did blank. Like nobody fucking cares. Nobody. That's not a time that exists anymore. Okay, that is lost to history now. It's gone. They were stupid. They did dumb things. We ridicule them. We're here now. We got lights and electricity and shit. Don't go back.
5/5 Radiant seems
Was it when they nerfed
nuts.
Plaza? That's what I thought it was, right? Around that time, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
So
I don't think so.
I think it was somewhere in that range.
I believe Plaza was not nerfed for the first seasonals.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
remember
was.
Plaza.
It was.
It was nerfed? Okay.
Was it?
Yeah.
I remember
We all-
playing
Are you
against
sure?
Plaza Scouts.
I got
So I think
beat
you're wrong.
by Plaza in top 32.
Wait. Was Plaza released after the first seasonals? I can't remember.
No, I got beat by Plaza in top 32 of the first seasonals.
It came out with
It's
Tarragon.
Plaza
Yeah.
was not out in first seasonals? Maybe I'm completely tripping.
No, it was. It was.
It came out with TK Rocker, right?
Yeah.
TK
Plaza
Rock.
Scouts were
Running into
definitely out.
Power.
Yeah, my
Like,
opponent
when
was
I
playing
started,
like
right?
Garen
I don't
Plaza
think
with
it was
Shadow
Plaza
Isles and I lost to it.
Plaza
Yeah,
was
I
nerfed
don't
in
think
Fab. It came
Plaza's
out in
good.
Jan. Yeah, I think the cup is mine. Cup's mine is correct.
Apparently I'm not remembering
Um,
correctly. Damn.
Because Plaza came out like after I started playing, which was like December or whatever.
I totally thought it was first season was Go Hard and Tribeam.
Yeah.
Damn.
And Feel the Rush. And Feel the Rush.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like the
Fiora
first counter.
Shadow.
And if you, I do remember Fiora
And,
Shadow.
yeah,
I
Fiora
switched
Shadow.
one on Fiora Shadow.
That, you know.
Back when people used to play, what was that, like the 9-mana Bright Steel guy? Remember him? That used to be a real card too.
That was the thing for a while. That was like the mirror breaker, right?
It was the Mirror Breaker, yeah. What I wrote a whole article about keeping it in your mulligan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Formation, yeah, Bright Steel formation. Yeah, that card's sick. I fucking hated Plaza. Completely unrelated to like any actual discussion. That card
Yeah, yeah,
sucked, man. It was such a pain in the ass.
Rolls.
I did not mind Plaza. Plaza was a good time.
Get out.
Yeah, but you really like degenerate bullshit. That's all that I
do.
know.
Sometimes. Sometimes yes,
But you
sometimes
did like
no.
Azirellia, right?
No,
Like Azirellia.
I did not, but mostly probably because I just didn't jump on that train. Instead, I had to ride the Nasus train. Had I just been on Blades from day one, I probably would have been like, some people just like play patterns that are different.
Yeah.
Okay, like me and Darkodius over here, we're just different. Okay, like you guys don't understand. All right, but I didn't. So
Speaking of Azirellia,
I got it. Yeah,
it
back.
came back. Black Boss brought it to OLS and went like 6-1 in Swiss with it.
it
I
top
think-
aided.
Yeah, Zorg top 8.
Zorg went top 8. Yeah.
Zorg top 8'd Master and Terra with it. Is this
Also,
deck
Lulu
good?
Poppy.
True?
I
yeah,
mean,
he-
Azirellia has always had like this place, right? Like it's always been in whenever there's this meta where a lot of people want to play like Lee and control decks. Well, then you just bring Azirellia and you hard punish them, and it's never really completely gone away. I mean, it's a lot weaker than it was. Like it's not by any means it's not any deck that can just play it and it beats everything you want to beat. But it's still solid, and it definitely has its place in the tournament meta as that big control.
Yeah,
punisher.
I honestly put a lot less stock into decks of tournaments that are like one free, for instance. If you didn't pay anything to go in, and you got people like one of my and Jason Seychelles who are very good players, who are like, let's just throw axes at people's face today. Like, yeah, it didn't work out. Go to the next one. That's a big thing. And then number two, I think like maybe like I put stock in like maybe the top 4, the top 2, the final list lineups, because you know that they had to be good players with solid lineups to make it like all the way there. You can make top 8 with, you know, not an easy route, but like maybe a relatively easier route. That's not like I mean, there's a what's that deck that Majin loves? Feel the Mina deck also made top 8, which I didn't notice.
Wait,
Guess
really?
what? Not
Yeah.
gonna be
And we
picking.
didn't
Not
know?
gonna be picking that. I know we didn't
damn
know.
it. We didn't get
Squeaked
Field
in
on
there.
coverage.
I think it got exactly 8th place.
But what's 5th and 8th are the same though. It's the same as
No,
the blades.
The
that we're talking
ordering
about.
is very important on the Match Runeterra site.
Yeah.
It's literally just whichever one I click on first when
Yeah.
I'm putting that info.
Um,
The top down.
I do think like once you get to, if it's like single elimination or something, once you hit like past 5 rounds before cut,
Yeah.
like I take anything that's 5-0 pretty seriously. You know what I mean? Colt had to drop you and play a match.
That's
Damn,
a
it
good
could've
point
won.
actually. Yeah, Cobalt dropped out of top 8, so we don't even know.
Damn, that's how broken Field of Mina is.
Field of
It
Mina's
didn't even.
nuts.
Didn't want
Didn't
people
have
to
show it
know.
at all.
Okay, so you know how like on Mobalytics, when you make a different version of a deck, it gives you different stats because it counts as a different deck. Bro, I have like 3 versions of Field of Mina with over like 30 matches with like an 80% win rate. It's like insane.
This season?
No, from last season. Bro, Field of Mina was the truth and just nobody knew it. I don't know why. Deck was nuts.
No,
It's so
not the truth. You were definitely wrong. Here's the thing: like, if a good player plays a super rogue deck that happens to be like decently good, like yeah, you're gonna go on a tear. You'll go on a tangent. Like you know how it is when you play against a deck, you have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're like, I have no idea. Do I use all my mana here or not? And then you get horribly punished. You're like, oh, okay,
I won't do
now
that
I
anymore.
see like
Yeah.
what's happening. Yeah. Well, you do that to
I mean,
25 out of 30 poor souls on the ladder. Guess what?
yeah, well, ladder's a completely different beast, right? Compared to like these tournament things. Like open list is a huge factor. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. You know
Yeah.
exactly what you're going against. Like, if you're not playing around whatever the ruination,
Yeah,
that's your fault.
I'm not saying the deck is bad. I'm just saying it's not like, oh, get on this Field of Mina trade. It's not like insane by any means.
I think it was pretty insane back then, actually. I
I
talked
told you
seasonals
that-
with it.
You said that about Deep too, bro.
Playing the
I talked
I got-
seasonals with that too. What do you want from me?
Okay. All right, look. We need to stop using his topping seasonals as like some sort of benchmark from now on. Also, okay. There's
I mean,
also
it kind
think
of is though. Like what?
no,
what
no, no,
else
no,
are you doing with it?
no. Top seasonals when you went 7-2, f off. That's bullshit. I
pretty good.
top seasonals too when I like played like 3 fucking games with my home lineup. Didn't know shit. Also at 7-2. Okay, it's different if you go like 8-1 or 9-0. Like you tore some ass. You fucking
I
went
actually
through that
disagree.
tournament.
I actually
'Cause you
think
went
there's a lot of
9-0?
people who go 9-0 and 8-1 who aren't as good as the 7-2 players. Like, I think there's
Yeah, I'm not saying the players are better. I'm
mediocre.
saying that because
Sure,
you went
you can go
7-2
on
with
a
a
tear,
deck,
but
that
that
it doesn't make the
doesn't
deck
say-
good.
No, that's a great
no,
point.
I
Anakin.
agree.
That's
I
a
was
great point.
8-0. I played against San Diego. Okay, like
That's true. You and Kevin both did go 9-0, so
But like,
yeah, maybe
have
you
you
make a
ever
good point.
played against, or has anybody who went 9-0 ever
Oh.
won seasonals? Right?
Yes.
I would just think that anyone who went 9-0, they're probably like just strictly worse players than someone who went like 8-1. The real
Agreed.
Giga Chads.
The
Exactly.
real Giga Chats. Real Giga Chats throw the last match.
Exactly.
Real Giga Chats don't show up to the last match because you don't want to go 9-0 because then you're playing a 7-2 and you don't want to play the 7-2s because
The
they're
thing that I
That's
hate,
fine.
the thing that I hate about my own point is Mo's the only one that went 9-0 and then also went 5-0.
He didn't win that.
It
season.
wasn't that
He
good.
didn't win
He
that
didn't
one.
win
The
What
one
was that
the one he
season?
won was the one that Kevin I
Oh, that makes so much more sense. I'm like, how do I not hear about that all the fucking time?
Yeah.
Like, he was undefeated. I just assumed that was all I would ever.
14-0 run. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Uh-huh.
Never mind then. Fuck it. I don't know anything.
There was like I'm like 27-1 over the past 2 seasonals or something like that
Yeah.
he posted, which is pretty funny. Or 27-2. I don't know.
I'm not 27-2 over the last 2 seasonals.
It's just funny, like clipping like the 2 seasonals you
That you crushed, yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like I was good in these 2 periods.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the way to do it, man. That is the way. That's what people remember. They'll much rather remember you going 9-0 and winning a seasonals. Like, don't give a fuck if you bombed out of every single other tournament you've ever played, compared to like, I don't know, like some idiot that just like, imagine you just top 4 all of them but never win anything. Like, who even knows? Who even knows that person's name?
That's a great
Like-
name, imagine. Or,
I don't know anyone who's
Great
done
name.
that though. You know, that'd be pretty cool if someone did that.
Push went completely undefeated. Oh, that's true because they had to. Yeah, it was 5-0, 5-0.
Oh, true.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah.
Again, dark. Those are the dark times. That's like the 1600s. No, too
No,
early.
they went
That's the
undefeated too.
1500s.
Who did?
Second seasonal, you were the second seasonal was like that too.
Oh yeah.
So you also went.
Oh
on it.
yeah. I literally never would have figured that out.
So wait, you only had to go 10-0?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say
it's so easy.
If it makes you feel better, I did A1 a lot of times after that.
10-0 might be harder than 12-2 though.
Oh, 10 is incredibly like hard.
Definitely.
12-2. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's all hard. I still think even like 7-2ing seasonals we say is like a cheat code, being able to 7-2 seasonals, but like let's be real,
really
it's still
is.
hard. Once, especially like, yeah, sometimes you get lucky, and your opponent like doesn't show up if you're in the X2. Can't relate, but like I exit 2, and from like round 5, I'm playing like big name players, right?
Yeah, it's hard no matter what. I have a question for you guys though. I've noticed that the time that I went 6-3 when I had probably the 7-2 by lockup, I felt like I played against tougher competition. And I wondered if anyone had noticed anything similar, like with the way the bracket gets set up, or maybe because the other times when I'm whatever rank and I've gone X and 1, and then I play someone maybe good at the very end. I don't recognize any of the names. Whereas the time when I did have the buy, I started higher. I played Deech. I played, I think, like, I don't know, Squeeby. No, that was a different time. But I played like people I knew, and people that were also like, their lineups were very good. They played well. And I was curious if you guys had noticed any difference, because I don't understand how the bracket works.
So what I've heard is it's not like number 1 seed plays 1024 seed. It's actually 1 seed plays 513. And so then 2 plays 514. So you play like the highest ranked of the bottom half of players
Okay.
in each round. So like
It's not
I don't
700.
know
It's not one
exactly.
plays 700.
well, there's
You
1,000
run into some problems once you get down to like rank 500, right? Who do they play?
Is that actually how it works?
I have no idea.
It's my understanding
Yeah,
of it
that's what
was
I've heard.
my understanding was that the people who are at the top of the ladder get like waitlisted players. So they're getting like real Masters players instead of getting Gauntlet players. That's what I heard.
That's also a possibility, is that you get waitlisted players because the Gauntlet players drop out, because the waitlisted players are seeded.
Here's what I want to know. Imagine it was, just for a second, imagine that it was 1 plays 1028, 2 plays, like you expect in a seeded bracket. The very next round, though, I don't think it works this way, but like if number 1 seed wins and number 2 seed wins, are they now playing each other? Almost for sure, no, because we would have figured this out by now, right? But that's how it would work in a seeded bracket.
I don't know if necessarily, like, you guys have
If they
probably
did
had
that way.
more experience, right? Like, I haven't played where I had like X2 seeding. But like the seasonals that I topped, like I had like 150 LP or some shit, right? But I play against real people the whole way. Like I was playing against like Kevor and Deech and like real fucking players. So I don't know, like maybe it's just luck of the draw.
I feel like round 1 I usually
Yeah.
play against someone I don't know, and then round 2. This is, I mean, to be honest, like what? How many seasons was we had? Like 6, 7, or something? 7. So like, our sample size is really low. But like, I feel like round 1 I usually don't know my opponent. Round 2 maybe, but then by round 3 I usually know most of my opponents. I have
Yeah,
played
I
against
wonder-
them online or something.
I wonder if they do it Swiss after the first round. Like just anyone that has a win plays anyone with a win. Anyone that has like 2 wins plays with anyone with 2
Well,
wins,
is
kind
that
of thing.
Swiss?
That's how it works.
I mean, the whole thing's Swiss, right?
But well, the beginning is supposed to be a
The
bracket.
beginning
though.
seeding.
Yeah.
Just to completely derail this conversation, does anybody know where the term Swiss comes from? Like, was there a tournament in Switzerland or something?
Yes.
I'd assume some chess tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good question.
Right? Like,
Google.
I've been playing Swiss tournaments my entire life, and I literally never asked that.
It is a chess thing, says Narcodius. Is that where that's where it started from? Is chess?
Yeah.
I just started all the
Hopefully I
shit, right?
searched it up before.
I appreciate you, Darko.
Chess tournament in Switzerland. Whoa. Could you imagine being like the first Swiss tournament and you had to try to explain it to some like people who think they're all
Yes.
hella smart all
I
day?
can imagine that because it happened in Magic a bunch. What do we used to call it? There was like the something mulligan, and then it became the Vancouver mulligan,
The
and then it
what
became
mulligan?
it was the Paris mulligan for the longest time from like the 90s. It was the Paris mulligan, and then it became the Vancouver mulligan, and then it became the London mulligan. And I thought that was pretty funny because I never thought, just like we don't think about Swiss
The partial
as
Paris.
being
Yeah,
like
the partial
Swiss.
Paris.
It was
Oh, I
Yes,
just
it's
looked
funny,
up the
it's-
Wikipedia article for Swiss tournament, and basically there's like a lot of different systems that they use, but traditionally Swiss doesn't do 1 versus 1024. They will do 1 versus 512 or 513 or whatever it is, more often. That's more traditional, which is interesting.
well, in Magic, Swiss is like random.
yeah,
Sorry,
I
random
mean,
by
that's
your
fine too.
Yeah.
record.
Your
There's no
scores, yeah.
seeding.
Yeah.
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 Which I think is fine. Honestly, like I just don't think about it much. I'm gonna play who I'm gonna play, and my job.
You gotta
is to
win.
beat
You
them.
gotta win anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
So,
clear,
whatever.
I'm kind of glad that we don't know the exact mechanics of it.
We try to game it.
Yeah, like based on
Gamers gonna game.
when I taught my first seasonals, I had like Henneke in my DMs like giving me the bracket like days before Riot sent out anything, right?
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, wait.
This is
Okay,
real deal.
if we knew, there would be people that are like snapshotting ladder
Yeah.
and tell you exactly who you're gonna play against.
Also,
Like,
Yeah, that's how I got that.
can we
Someone did that.
please change the
Exact-
top 32 thing?
Please change it.
I
It's so
don't.
annoying.
I
Please.
don't want to sit. I don't want to know who I'm gonna play against, and we can figure it out. We always do. So exactly the same thing as Icado. Someone hops in my DMs and tells me who I'm gonna play. Happens every single time, right?
Yeah.
And then
What do you guys think? What's I want to hear what's ideal. Because would you rather do a Saturday cut to top 32 playoff Sunday, or do you like the week in between?
if
The
Any
two
way
weeks
to
is
change
fine,
decks,
just
right?
lock the decks.
I think if you're gonna lock the decks, go Saturday, Sunday. If you're not going to lock the decks, give us a week. But if you're not going to lock the decks, we need to have randomized pairings.
Unpopular
Yeah.
opinion, right? I think locking decks wouldn't be very cool because I like that there's a different meta between the open
It's
rounds
really
and the top
interesting.
cut.
Yeah,
Because
it
we
is
get to see
exciting.
shit like Soraka TK and like scouts like top
Fresreal.
every fucking seasonals, right?
Every
Against
time,
people.
it's always the TK Rocka. There's always
It's
this
always
one
TK
guy.
Rocka and
Yeah.
Scouts.
And it's always like
Yeah.
auto.
It builds it up a bit more
It's
too,
exciting,
right? Because
yeah.
otherwise we'd have just an extra dead week of nothing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
at
just
least
don't
there's
want to know
something
who I'm
going
gonna
on.
play against.
Yeah, just
Right?
randomize it. Yeah, into the top 32. I like that.
As somebody that went into the seasonals that I topped as like nobody knew who the fuck I was, right? But I definitely gamed the system. I'm like I know exactly who I'm playing against, and I'm going to counter their decks because I know what they're going to play.
Yeah.
Right? Like I hardcore
Yeah.
teched my decks.
You were on
Um,
the Kever Majin side, right? Of the bracket.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No, I was like
And he brought TK
He
Rocka.
brought TK Rocket Scouts. Yeah, he's like
TK Rocka is
No, it's
Azirellia.
Oh, Azirellia, my bad.
Was
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I was out to beat you guys.
Yeah, and it's a
Uh,
great idea.
yeah.
It's like,
And then I immediately messaged him and was like, yo, you just fucked my boys up. What's up? You welcome to join the team?
yeah,
But
I hate
I don't
that.
know. I get that. I 100% get it. And like, there's this weird like leveling thing, right? Where it's like, are they going to counter me? Do I need to counter their counter? Like, how much are they prepping? You have to like be looking at their accounts like every single day to see what they're playing. Sometimes every single hour. I don't know.
So what do you think? What do you think happens then if it's a random top 32? Because now you don't know. You don't know if you're gonna get Mo. You don't know if you're gonna get what am I, Majin.
That's so much
It
better.
could be anything. So then, but then people just kind of default a little bit. Like I guess you could hedge a little bit, right? Because you'll know like, oh, well, a lot of people brought Ari Kennen or whatever, so I can maybe come a little bit more ready for that. But at the same time, like, everything will be present.
Yeah.
Do you think people change? I feel like people would change their lineups less than they currently do, because they would, kind of try to stick to what got them there, what's solid, what they know, and they don't know that they're up against the Majin Kever side of the bracket, so they're not able to tech super hard. And if it ends up just being somewhat the same, it's like why even just wait another week then of people just testing a bunch and doing a bunch of work. So I don't know. Maybe people crack it and come up with something new.
I mean,
I don't know. I think it's a different skill set, right? Like, there's one. It's one thing prepping for one guy to, like, I know this guy's gonna bring deep thralls, whatever, and I'm just gonna bring something disgusting like Azirellia to counter it. Or it's a completely different thing. Seeing like, okay, there's 31 other players in this tournament. What do they like to play? And then you kind of have to think about that sort of meta big picture instead of this like tiny micro, like
Yeah, that's a good point.
competitive leveling game. It's a lot.
That's
It's
true.
a lot more interesting, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's also like it's so brutal because I'm very like I have to be very public with what I'm doing, right? Like people are gonna know what I'm playing. It's impossible for me to hide it. People know my Smurf account. Like people know my main account. I have to stream. I have to put out YouTube videos. So like I could do all my content creation and then have any kind of like practice on like a third random account I make and like don't tell anyone what it is.
I'm not supposed to tell people about Majin's super secret account number 3.
It's please
Hashtag 3.
nerf Aphelios again. That's the name. Please nerf Zoe. No one will know.
If you wanted to, you definitely could though, right? Like
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
just pre-record
1000%.
some videos for that week, not do that thing where you tell everyone your lineup the day
You
before.
could just
Yep.
change
Use
the
your
name of your
videos.
Yeah.
Smurf account, bro.
Play-
I could.
You could change it every month.
I could, I guess, because if I change the name of my Smurf account, then I could go back because I'm already in top 32. I could go back and play games on the main account. That's a good point, but it's just like it's a pain in the ass. And then
It takes 2 seconds.
yeah, but okay, you're playing against
Pain in
Majin,
the
right?
ass.
You don't know me, like we're not friends or anything. You're playing against me in top 32. You're bringing stuff to beat what I play, like every time, right?
Yeah.
100% you're
Sure,
teching
bro.
against me because I'm such a public
Oh, yeah.
person that you like.
Sure.
Even if you don't know what I'm practicing, you have a pretty good idea what I'm bringing.
Totally.
If you spend an hour on Twitch streams or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, so
you can
that's
figure
what
it out.
we're talking about, right? So that's why it would be another good reason to
That's what
randomize
we're
the
doing.
top 32.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How would we feel? Okay, so let's say we randomized it. How would we feel if like the first time we do it, both of the 9-0 people run into each other in round 1?
Don't give a
That'd feel
fuck.
kind of shitty, right?
I don't really care.
You have to
Probably.
5-0. You have to 5-0 no matter what.
You gotta
But,
buy
I mean,
Yeah.
And do you think do you think that the 2 people that went 9-0, do you think they're the best people out of the top 32? Hell no. You got people like
they deserve
Henneke,
having
Mo,
a second round.
Kever, like
But no, you get extra money
True.
for like each round you win, right?
No one I know has
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
won.
Each round except
A
the
little bit of
first
money.
round doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get you. I wouldn't care if the 2 9-0s got matched up. If I was the 9-0 and I got paired with the 9-0, I wouldn't give a shit. But like, that's just me. Like,
it's good. It's a murderer's row no matter what. Like, come on.
The 9-0 always gets a bad matchup anyways.
Every
Like,
time, yeah.
It's always
That's
like
right.
it's always like Cav versus like
Raptaro.
Raptor.
Yeah.
right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus-
You're exactly. You're always getting one of the good top ladder players that made it into the 7 and 2.
Mhm. Yep. What up, Blevins? Blevin does not want the 9-0s to play first round from his perspective. That's understandable. Cambly
He's gonna-
suggested some sort of weighted randomization, which I can get on board with. You split it into top bottom and then you roll dice.
Yeah, you could put both
yeah.
9-0s on both ends of the bracket and then randomize it or something if you not that hard.
Well, you can like just pool the 9-0s, say they're random, and then pool the 8-1s, randomize those, and then 7-2s random too. But
It's a good thing you're pretty.
me?
What the?
Have you never heard that before?
You're
Are you
talking-
disliking what I'm
I think
saying?
this is like what you're saying.
I'm harsh just
No.
like you what you say. I'm like you're randomizing the 9-0s. Like what do you like?
You make sure the 9-0s
Whatever.
can't get matched up against each other and then you randomize the rest.
Have you ever seen like a
You
quick
just-
draw at Worlds?
seed them differently.
Yeah,
Like the,
so literally what I just said. Like I was like
Yeah.
put them on other ends of the bracket so they can only be in the finals and then randomize the rest.
yeah,
of it.
who were the other ones?
You're like, wait.
He wants you to do it with
Yeah,
the other ones.
I
too.
was-
Stay
I'm
close to the 17.
expanding upon your structure. Okay, I'm
Okay.
supporting your idea.
There you go.
Jason's like, I think this, and Henry goes, yeah, and
What
Jason's
for
like,
no reason.
fuck you.
All right, was I the only
Wonder
one that
why
was
we
like?
start fights. You wonder why.
Oh, all
I
right.
wonder why. It's because you're always starting shit.
Oh my god, we're not doing this again. I will turn both of you off.
Jokes. They're just jokes.
Okay.
God.
So that's what I would like to see this season.
Saying in every joke there is little bit of joke.
That's true. Now let's move
That's
on.
right.
So I would like to see top
get
32
canceled
season was
for doing
changed.
that
One thing
accent.
I don't want to see changed because I really liked it. was I loved the groups in Worlds, the pods. That was really cool. I would like it to change to be double round robin, because like single round robin in a 4-man pod was kind of brutal. But I understand from a like perspective, like from watching the tournament, if you want to catch every match, you can only. Do
I thought it worked
single.
really. I thought it worked
I
really well,
honestly-
and I think double might get kind of like weird. It's like, oh hey, okay, you're
I wouldn't
0-3.
want to play.
Back at. I guess you'd still. Or now you're 0-4. So like, get back in there. It's also a shit ton of Runeterra to play.
I think
Sorry,
there's a lot of like matches I wouldn't want to play a double round robin for. You know, like sometimes you pull up to the deck selection, you're like, oh, I lose, it's fun, and then you have to do that twice. It's like, okay, I get to lose to Yamato again.
Yeah, that's true. But if you
it's
have a
hard
good
to-
one and it doesn't work out, then I'd like to see it again.
What if you went
Sure, yeah.
maybe like larger pods? You know, instead of top 16, you did like, I don't know, top 24 or whatever it needs to be, so that you could get the pods like a little bit bigger. So it's like 6 people
Like
or
4
something
sixes.
like that. Yeah.
I definitely get where Henneke's coming from, right? Because like I played against Ping Ping Ho, who brought like triple aggro and was like hard fucking countering me, and like he banned the wrong deck, and like I kind of high rolled him, and I wouldn't want to have to do that
It
again.
was like no more. Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I think it felt kind of brutal because like one, you're sitting there like all day, and you play like 2 hours of Runeterra, like 3 hours of Runeterra, and
To be fair, if they don't have to stream every game, then it doesn't have to take that long, right?
that's
No,
true.
they fucked that
That's
up.
true.
They totally no. They totally fucked that up. You could just play all the matches and record them,
Pre-record them.
and then stream them. That's what.
It is kind of brutal
does.
because you know people would tweet shit.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
You should
Yeah.
get people to shut the fuck up. Like you get them sign NDAs or whatever. Like most
Yeah.
people will not be like, hey, guess what? We're not gonna pay you your prize money if you tweet anything. I'm like, cool.
Oh,
Yep,
maybe
we're
I
good here.
shouldn't Do that. Yeah.
Like you know, for instance, people that are in the Riot Partner Program. Guess what? There were some leaks, and they were like, we're gonna take your shit away. Don't leak anything anymore. And everyone's like, yeah, cool, be good here.
Wait,
Everything's
who
like,
leaked? Who do I need to follow on Twitter?
Majin. Oh,
Do you really think
shit.
it was me? Bro, I barely know how to use Twitter.
No, we don't fucking know. They were leaking some.
yeah,
leaks,
I don't even think it wasn't for Runeterra. I'm pretty sure it was for like League.
Anyways, but because there were people that were in, I think probably Asia, and they had to stay up like until some crazy hour. That's pretty messed up, and so it's pretty easy to get around that.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. When your World's Day starts at 2 a.m.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they did well.
Yeah.
They did
I did
well.
pretty okay.
Playing Control too. It's
Yep.
tough.
Killer, dude. Killer. I hope we see Worlds again. We did just get an announcement, but that basically said, hey, expect the next roadmap right when the next set releases in February. So that's exciting. That's a little less than 1 month away, I believe.
Roadmap isn't necessarily competitive, right? Like,
No.
Or did it say like a competitive?
It will say
roadmap?
seasonals.
it'll be the-
and
it'll
say
be the competitive
Worlds. If if we got the roadmap for all of last year, all of this last year, the roadmap would have seasonals and worlds on it, because the roadmaps did have those.
Oh.
Yeah, they said they would at the beginning of the first quarter, beginning of this year, that they would have the announcement for competitive. For sure, it'll have competitive on there.
Yeah.
Would you guys be happy with another year of like the same thing, like just seasonals into worlds, and that's that?
I don't want Majin to answer.
Come on,
knows the
Mosh.
answer.
I don't want Majin to answer.
There's a
He's gonna ruin it for
stipulation.
the rest of us. He's gonna ruin it for all of us.
There's a stipulation.
Okay, fine answer.
Okay, so yes, but there has to be something else. Gauntlet needs to be revamped. We need Expedition changed and possibly have limited tournaments, right? Like, I'd be fine with that structure, but I need something else. In-game weekly tournaments for prizes or something. Like, just seasonals and worlds is not enough for me.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that I agree with you, but I think it's because we are currently in this complete lull where we have not had worlds or had seasonals matters in so long that I'm like, yes, just bring it back, please. Please bring it back. I just want seasonals to matter again, and because that was really fun. That race was really fun. It's funny. I was talking to Majin about it. He's like, yeah, I kind of missed out on that.
I didn't get to experience the race, and I can't whine about it because then I sound like an asshole.
But it's true though. But it's true though, right? Like I just missed, and technically Jason and Kevin kind of just missed. But you know what I mean? But like the I still look back on it and I was like, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Like it made everything matter. It made all the matches matter. It made everything important. There was something to fight for. Whereas now Cecil's is like, yeah, you want the clout and $10,000 sounds nice, but let's be real, like one person gets that. It's just not the same. And so like, yeah, I want those things back really badly. But if we only had basically the same thing as we had last year, plus a little bit, like I'm not gonna be disappointed. It's just like, you could have done better. You're Riot fucking Games. You have a whole year, you got half a year to plan this, and that's what you came with. Like that's kind of
I'd be disappointed.
You could do better.
I'd be disappointed.
You could do a little better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially like you just mentioned with the format from Worlds and how it was unique. I was going to touch on that also, like stuff that's like unique and different. Like, oh man, like just that made Worlds so special, right? And so like just like that was unique and special. I want them to push more unique special things into organized play, and that's what I want to see this year.
So chat's talking about this too. I think something that would kind of throw everything for a curve, which is something I'm always about, right? I love it when things change and everything is made new and you have to figure your shit out, would be having some kind of competitive limited format. Like if they can fix Expedition.
I just want to be
or
on the
bring
record
draft
to let
or-
all of you know that Jordan is my favorite out of all of you. Okay, there's Jordan. There's all of you. There's a layer of clouds and air and beauty, and then there's fucking all of you. Okay, I just want that to be on the record. Okay,
He's just reading P-Tash's comment in Twitch.
Vitosh had two good ones. Another one was like possibly a weekly like top 100 message tournament. Something like that would be kind of cool.
Because here's
Go ahead, Dory.
right?
Yeah.
Like the idea of the limited format coming in is something that fixes a bunch of problems, because a lot of the things that people have gotten like grumpy about when we suggest like best of 3 ladder or any of the other like crazy concepts is one of the things that comes up all the time is barrier to entry, right? And limited formats will always by definition not have a barrier to entry, right? You can just show up and say I want to fucking play. And
Yeah.
I love limited formats, and I think it would be something the community would also get behind. So if we can have one that, I'm sorry, Riot, doesn't suck, then it would be really cool to see it be competitive.
I would be so excited to see a real limited. And I'm not a limited gamer, but like if bro, Magic fucking nailed it. Just copy it, bro. Like, come on.
Seriously, just copy it.
Put a champ in each pack. Let me play 3 regions and run it.
So break it down for me, because as somebody who didn't come from Magic, my understanding of like the limited formats like expeditions, and I am entirely uninterested in any sort of a competitive format about it.
Okay,
So
we're
explain
not.
what's the difference.
Okay, so we're not talking expeditions at all. So how it works basically is you would get like 15 random cards, one of which would be a champion, and then you'd choose one and you'd pass the next to the next person. We do this in like pods of 8 or so, right? And you do that a couple of times, and then you are able to build a deck from like the 45 cards that you have, and then you play that in the tournament. So it has nothing to do with expedition.
Yeah, because you get to like you don't get to pick your you don't exactly get to pick what you see, but you get to like heavily guide how your draft goes, and then you're drafting against people. So if I'm seeing some sick ass Demacia cards, and I started in Shadow Isles, but then I might be like, damn, I kind of wanted to go into Demacia because I don't think these guys up the river are in Demacia, so I can expect to see a lot more Demacia. Right? There's like strategy in it.
And then you have to try to put your deck together using this very limited amount of cards that you've drafted. It's very skill intensive. You have to cut it down to 40 cards.
Yeah, you'd probably go a little lower.
It's like different. Yeah, maybe a little lower. It's like different every time. Every draft is different. Every draft is different. And the drafting is like the most fun part. We're trying to put this deck together. And then you're like, like a lot of times you're like, do I have to go play this now? Like, yeah, you go play it really quick and you go back to draft again. And it's like just always new, always fun, always exciting. Very skill intensive.
It is really cool. You could even like, if something ends up being too busted, you could even do like limited buffs and nerfs if you like, really wanted to invest in that in a competitive format. It'd just be really cool. I think drafting tournament may also be hard for viewers to understand at the start. I mean, card game viewers are pretty used to the concept, and it's pretty easily explainable. Like, I think Ikato pretty much gets the idea, right? Like, if we had, and this is like, we don't even have the rules to the format because it doesn't exist, right? But if we took 2 minutes to explain it to you, you'd probably have it down. And the games are the same, right? It's the same game.
Yeah.
I think that would be so cool. And could you imagine, like, having to split? You'd be splitting. You'd be like, all right, boys, it's constructed tournament, constructed seasonal, let's go. And then next seasonal's limited, and we're all just sitting there drafting all night, trying to like suss out which regions of that.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Because let's be real.
So down.
Let's like have any new formats at all come out since like the launch of the game?
They tried best of 3 once or twice, and I still don't know why, but like single deck best of 3, this community does not like. Like we've tried it once or twice, and there was some like
The sideboard?
serious backlash against it. Yeah, best of 3 sideboard, people were not into it.
Yeah, I don't really
I'm not
want
sure
that.
why.
I think-
I don't get it. Like it seems like it would be something that would be really cool, and maybe I'm just biased because I have Magic background.
It
But
felt fine when I played
It's
it.
interesting.
But what I'm saying
It's
though is
interesting for
Riot.
sure.
Riot hasn't introduced any new formats
No.
or
It's like
ways to play the game. I guess kind of
2v2,
ways to
like
play the game.
lab stuff.
It was-
Yeah, so there's a bunch of that. There's a bunch of that stuff, but there's no best of 3 ladder. There's no like competitive limited format. There's no making it like, oh hey, you can only play with these cards and not those cards. Like just any new format.
It'd also be interesting to see Riot Lock come back. Not Riot Lock, Region Lock come back. Because at the beginning, we kind of all, or at least I know, I hated Region Lock because it felt like I couldn't play any decks.
You had
or I
like
got
6
forced to
regions,
play
right?
specific decks. So we had like 6 regions. But with 10 regions now, it might be really interesting to see what people do with Region Lock. Because you can't play like 9 Decimator, 9 Withering Whirl anymore, right? You have to actually bring different shit.
I was the first like major offender of the Riot Lock. Like I brought 9-9 Nopify to the first Go Hard FDR seasonal, and people hated that.
I switched
I
to
thought-
Lee Sin. I put 3 denies in my like Callista Mythrace deck for like top 32.
Yeah.
It's just like I just want to play denies, bro.
I just think sideboard right now would be pretty funny. Like, can you imagine sideboard in this format? Someone just plays Ari Cannon, they just put in Absolver version, plus version, slash deny, an extra palm in your deck.
Oh my
You know,
god.
right in the game.
Lord.
How many silence are you boarding in, bro?
That would suck though, right? It would be like,
Hilarious.
it's a
Oh,
guessing game.
Bro, come on, I'm down for it. Like my issue right now is I can't find a third deck, right? Like if I could just play Ari Cannon only, I'm so down for that. Like let me just play Ari Cannon.
I do think. a
Yeah,
lot of
okay.
us-
I'll see you halfway through the Sharima Desert. Come talk to me.
I do.
I'm down to just play mirrors all day, bro. Come on.
I guess I do love mirrors,
Generally.
especially with
Not-
sideboards.
I'm not.
But I do think a lot of like what makes the tournament meta so exciting is the 3 deck format. I was pretty opposed when I came into the game. I was not about it because I came from Magic, but like I've gotten pretty used to it. I do not think Riot Lock is the best option. I, however, have no other suggestions. Right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it. Region Lock might end up being good. Maybe Jordan's right. I haven't played Region Lock. But like, yeah, I do think Riot Lock, while not the best, is the best we currently have. And god damn, if they came out, bro, in February and said real drafting coming in April, would you just like lose your mind?
Oh,
I
I
would
lose
lose
my
my
fucking
Yup.
mind.
Someone gets
I
Steven
would-
on the phone.
I don't know. I like Riot Lock, honestly. Like I've played in like
I don't
the Discord tournaments, like the r/LOR Discord tournaments, and sometimes they do like region lock or like I think they've done Popper before. It's just whatever. And like building a lineup for fight night, fuck that shit. Come on, let me play multiple Ionia decks. Ionia is broken. Let me abuse that shit.
Is Fight Night still 2 deck?
Honestly,
2 deck.
Yeah,
matches?
yeah,
I was told it was switching
Yeah.
to 3 because apparently that's just a holdover from like back in the day when
Oh,
it first
what?
started.
I like that it's two decks because I don't take it very seriously. And if you get to bring some like absolute nonsense and it never gets banned and you always get to play it, I
Is
think
that what we
is
want though?
that's
Is like
not
do we want this like premier level event to be a joke for all these high level players? Like Majin didn't even want to like play in it half the time. He was like, "Oh, bro, I'm kind of busy. I got hockey and stuff. Like, I don't know." I was like, yeah, do I win? Do I not win? Like, everyone's like that. Everyone's
think-
kind of like,
The problem for me was that it ended up
I
on
loved it.
the same day as my stuff. Like Friday's my volleyball nights, so it's either like I ditch my team and I play Fight Night, which is like kind of fucked, or I play, like you said,
the
kind of
community
second
loves
series.
it.
Yeah,
The community loves it.
yeah, it's great.
And so
Screw
that's
you
why
guys.
I want it to be like higher stakes. I want it to be a format that people can play in, and I want it to be prizes that people are coming out like trying to like take each other's heads off. None of this like,
So-
hey, gentlemen's agreement, no one play Action Siver, because like it's boring and we're playing for $100.
I don't know.
I
I feel
actually
like
I don't know. I haven't played Fight Night recently just because I've been super busy and I haven't been able to, just because work shit happens, right? But when I was getting to play Fight Night, I always took it super serious and I thought it was one of the most awesome things going on.
I
I
didn't
like
the
Fight
format,
Night's
I'm gonna be
sick.
honest.
Like if I were getting invites, I'd be playing in Fight Night every goddamn week. Like, come on. I didn't realize everyone was out here just fucking for funning it.
might just be
What the
me.
fuck?
I
for
just like
fun it.
bringing
I
something
for fun
funny
play
every
it.
time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of for funning.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's like, it's also, it's better for me to show up with rogue shit at Fight Night and like do
Yeah.
pretty okay than it is for me to win it with good decks. It's like it's like better for my brain. Which is kind of weird spot. Like if I show up with some interesting shit and I go, and I make it to like, you know, losers finals or whatever, people will talk about that more than if I win it. You're like, damn, bro, Manja made it to losers final with this deck. That's so sick. And then I do a YouTube video on it. People like that. But if I win it with Rory Kennan, no one gives a fuck.
You don't have to win a game for someone to think your deck is interesting. Like,
Mhm. Just
Mhm.
bring it.
I think it's honestly like if you're a complete unknown, you're better off bringing something that's just complete garbage than actually winning Fight Night.
If you're
At the
looking
same
for
time,
exposure, if that's
There's a lot of people who like burn out O2 and nobody like people like are talking about it like, you know, for a couple hours they're like, oh, that's a
okay,
really
never
cool
mind.
deck that they're bringing, and then you like check the bracket, you know, like 2 hours in, it's like, oh well, they just
they lost.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
true.
defeated.
Like,
you have to
well,
win some games.
Mhm.
You know, you have to be game breaker, right? You have to go win with
That's fair.
Saracilian, and then people will be like, oh, okay, it's a cool deck.
It is a cool deck.
Like
I like it.
Zoe Diana.
Someone
Fantasy
posted
dog.
on my YouTube channel they commented on the Zarazillion video I did, right? Which I ran like 7-1 up to 550 LP on my main account in the video. And then they commented on it. They're like, thanks for the worst day ever. I played against these decks and lost every game. Like, screw you. I was like, bro, what? What do you want from me?
dude.
You see me winning with it at like the highest level, and you're like, this is your fault. I'm losing in silver.
To be fair, that was
Sometimes-
me though. To be fair,
Oh,
so I
okay,
mean,
Yeah, like Florent needs some help, man. But no, Zarazillion, like sometimes I
Silver's
watch
rough,
your
man.
videos.
I'm with you, Jason.
Sometimes
Thanks,
I
bro.
watch your videos and I'm like, what the fuck? How is he winning with this shit? Why is he running into like only the most awful decks in the world? When I play ladder, it's just like tier 1 shit, tier 1 shit, tier 1 shit. I don't know what time you play. Maybe I
then
need
he's
to play
like,
at the same
"Plat
time.
3."
Yeah, I'm like, the Saracilian deck sucks, dude. I'm trying to
like
play
it.
it. These matchups aren't winnable. What the
I
fuck?
Like it's garbage.
I have been lately. I've been playing like I played the TF Nami deck. Bro, I lost to Maokai self-sacrifice drain
Oh, that game was so sick.
from like
I love
20.
that
They
game.
never hit me. It was
I
ridiculous.
saw that. That was
I
so
lost
funny.
to Swain Vagar, where they double Rekindler, double Chronicler of Ruin, their Rekindler on Vagar. It just fucked me up. I was like, what am I supposed to do about this?
You guys remember when you were getting so hyped about this TF Nami deck?
Yeah, and then I lost
I
the
mean,
tree.
To be fair, come on, it's Majin playing. He's farming YouTube content. He can't win
It's
every
fair,
game.
it's fair.
True.
It's silver, bro. Silver's insane.
Gold.
Plat now, isn't it? Is it not plat?
I'm in plat. I don't remember if I got to plat in the video or not.
Oh.
I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like I'm just like I've been like playing a couple games on all for YouTube. It's like play 5 games or stuff. I didn't like play 5 games of Azirellia, 5 games like Lurk, 5 games of Lulu Ari, and then suddenly I'm at like 500 LP. I don't understand what's happening. It's so bizarre. Like you just get these weird pockets where you just play against like I don't know, like Zarazillion twice or like 3 times in like 5 games.
Ladder's
like-
such a fucking crapshoot. I don't know.
It's
Have you guys
Yeah,
ever played
bizarre.
at like 2 a.m. when
Mhm.
like some of the OC players start hopping on and like they're just playing some bullshit in the morning? I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's either that or I go specifically like Bay, Akato, Henneke, Kever. It's like what the fuck? Why is it just like name? This is only us degens up at like midnight.
Yeah,
We're
I
cutting that
feel
out.
You ever have
there's a certain amount of ladder that's just like hitting the right pocket. Where
Mhm.
like you hit a pocket, you farm 150 LP, and then like you just try and hold on to it until you hit another one.
I have had.
you ever hit the same guy like over and over and over again?
Yeah, I was
Because
just
that's
gonna say,
yeah.
my
I got
big thing.
to a spot where I played the same guy 4 times and I crushed him so hard the first time he conceded 3 times in a row. Like I queued up, concede, queued up, concede.
I was
queued up. He played a 1-drop. I go harded it. Pause. Concede.
that's sad.
That was also me.
No, I love when you
I
run
played-
into someone and you beat them, and then like 5 minutes later they're
They
running like the
counter you.
hard fucking counter
Yeah,
deck.
like,
It's
Yeah.
fuck you
bro,
in
come on.
particular. Yeah, that happens a lot.
It's like,
That happened to me. I played against Black Boss earlier. I was on a Azirellia, like his version. I net decked him and I beat him with it. And then like one game afterward, I was playing the mirror match. Love you, Black Boss.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It is funny how that works because yeah, sometimes you're like, okay, let's grind this ladder, bro. And I play 6 hours of ladder and I'm super tryharding and I'm running to only tier 1 decks and only tier 1 players. And then sometimes I'm drunk off my ass and I load it up and I'm playing some bullshit and I'm running into nothing but garbage. And you're just steamrolling.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on here? This isn't how this is supposed to work.
I think it has to be just a later at night thing because like every time I start my stream, I start out by like losing 150 LP and then I gain it all back by the end of the stream. And I go plus like 15 in like a 6-hour thing, so it's a waste of time. But it has to be this, early evening. It's just not the time to play.
No.
no, the real move I found is EST mornings. Like if you're like 9 a.m. EST or like 6 a.m. PST or whatever it is.
That dog.
I know you're not getting up for that.
I've never played that time in my life.
I'm just saying, if you have a get up in the morning, you either have these PST players who are way staying up way too late, or like these people getting up in the morning having a couple relaxed games before they go off to work, and you just roll them. It's just so easy.
No, the 11 a.m. like EST bathroom breaks not bad either.
That's true. That one's money.
What I'm hearing is you just, bring in some like hostage infinite decks and just like ruin someone's day at the
They
very
have to
beginning.
concede because they have to go back to work. So like, bro, my lunch break's like almost over. Come on.
I mean, you can just play Ari Kennen if you want.
That's
Yeah,
I
that's
think I gotta go, guys. It's been real.
Thanks for coming by, man.
Better, bro.
Catch you later. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I think right now, excited to see kind of what happens in the tournament tournament meta this weekend, because it's changed so rapidly from week to week, and it's changed so rapidly week to week in response clearly to what was happening the previous week, right?
Like what are people responding to this week?
I have no fucking
Silver
idea.
auction?
Do you?
Out
Yeah,
to get a silver
Demacia
auction?
out the outs,
that's an interesting thing. Do you think because we're running this series, the meta has churned more? It's because there's always just like a big flagpole event every weekend for people to kind of like, look at the results and go to. Because when we did it before, when we did the $1,000 tournaments right before seasonals, it was like, oh, hey, meta's kind of like people don't know. And then I remember that one specifically was like, Thresh Nasus, good. Oh, like came and crushed our 1K. And then it was like, oh,
That's right.
yeah,
I was
okay,
really
everyone
upset.
knows now.
I was really
Yeah.
upset. Yeah, I was like, God damn it! Now everyone knows that it's that good.
And so when there aren't like large
it was
tournaments
not
to be
good.
had, it's like, a lot of the population doesn't really know, or like we even don't even really know because it's hard to get like good data, right? But when there's a big or multiple big tournaments every weekend, the metagame starts to shape up more, and then it also starts to like churn more, which I think we're kind of seeing.
no, I actually totally
What's the
agree.
problem with it?
We're cycling
But-
through like
I don't know.
we're hitting each cycle faster than we would have before, right? Like
Seems like it.
Our
Well,
Cannon cycle was.
I mean, there
obviously
were
like a-
tournaments before, right?
Yeah.
Like there were other tournaments, but they weren't as big as I don't know. These seem to be.
No, I don't think tournaments existed before Mastering Tour. They
That is-
invented it.
that's
Actually.
actually correct. We
Hey,
invented the entire-
Bae, if you could just
Wait, I'm not supposed to talk
Akato,
about the other
Akato.
tournaments. Yo, Ricardo, you want this nameplate?
No,
To
my
be
bad, my bad.
To be fair though, real talk, I remember when I came in like exactly a year ago and I wanted to play in grassroots tournaments, like what is there? And it was like OLS for $100 was the big one. And there was like other ones for like $50, and that was it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Rich
now
Boy
we're
Front over here shitting on $100, bro. Come on,
$100 prize pool, dog.
Prize pool.
Yeah.
$100.
You won
Look,
like
we all know
$30.
Hell yeah, man. That's like 2 lunches.
The
That's
expected
great.
value was great. There were only like 40 players.
Akato has a full-time Twitch streamer, okay?
I was gonna say same anyway, man. Yeah, no, $30 goes a long way. You see what Twitch paying me?
You gotta join me on the YouTube side, man. That's where the money's at. Didn't you watch the video? I know you
I
did
did,
because I saw you watching. Did you see someone took a screenshot and it was like me on the video, you watching my video, me watching you watching the video, you watching me watching you watching the video.
Yeah.
I was definitely doing that.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Oh man,
Yeah, sorry, I was not trying to poo on OLS. I'm saying they were holding it up by themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, like we're doing a $500 tournament every weekend. There's Runeterra Life. There's
Still
Max.
OLS.
Max is still OS. Max did 2,500. So I'm just saying, there's like $1,000 prize
Obviously,
pools.
yeah, Runeterra Academy.
2,500. Runeterra Academy. There's a lot more stuff happening now, which is fantastic. Love to see it.
Mhm. It's definitely not only is it accelerating the meta, I think it is giving a chance for other players to like make a name for themselves and really like practice to hit that level. Like we're seeing a lot more people hit like top tournament player like esque level than we were in the past. When you only had seasonals, right? Even if you were cracked, if you just didn't make top 32, no one knew who you were.
Yeah.
I mean, just win a
I
tournament.
mean, even if you made top 32, no one knew who you were most of the time. You know,
That's-
there's a lot of people who made it.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll never forget this. Someone came in my chat and they're like, after first seasonals, and they're like, hey, how'd you do the seasonals? And I was like, oh, like I went 3-2. So like I got the card back, which is like I just started playing like 3 weeks ago or something. So I was like, I was happy. I was like, how'd you do? And they're like, oh, I won. It's fucking push feet. His fucking push feet came in, asked me how I did, knowing that I would just ask him right back.
Flex, right?
This man
Classic fucking push. Classic push.
And it's like all of my chat.
He's like, I'm streaming right now. And like your whole channel. He posts a link to his own channel. Oh my god.
No way. Did he actually?
100%. Yeah, fucking, I love Push Me. Push Me's the funniest LOR player bar none. It's not even fucking close.
Oh
Which
my
is
God.
hilarious. He cracks me the fuck up, man. He's so funny.
That's so funny. I do remember being like really excited because I had like kind of started streaming, I guess, like a couple days before, but I was hanging out in your stream because you would stream at nights, and I wanted to see what real Twitch streamers did. So I went to your stream, right? And I was like, he looks established. He has really high quality content. Let's see what he does. And I was so excited because I hit rank 1, and I was like, guess who just hit rank 1? And you're like, it's you. I'm like, it's me. Like, I'm so excited to like tell a Twitch streamer I hit rank 1 or something.
I remember that.
Cute.
I remember that.
I don't know. I don't think I'd be here if I didn't top the first seasonals. It's kind of crazy.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, same.
I wouldn't have started streaming. Definitely not. Wild. What would my life be like?
It's cool that like seasonals is, gives you like a platform to be able to like jump off of, right? Like I think if you win a seasonals or like top a seasonals, like you have a platform where like people recognize your name, and like name recognition is like huge in Twitch,
Such a big deal.
especially in the LOR community where there's like 20 people
Kaido.
maybe streaming at any given time. Like having people recognize your name to like actually click on your stream is fucking huge.
There's like
Yeah.
2 or 3 people, right? And then everyone else has like low enough numbers to where you're like basically fighting against them, right? So if you have any reason for people to click on you over the other people, it bumps you up so fast.
Dude, okay. Speaking of all this nostalgia and everything, and like the way back, I probably would have gone for Runeterra so hard if it hadn't been for Nick Makes Plays. He just like came into my stream when I was streaming like the first time. I was like, yo, what up? Like, welcome to the fucking game. Like, here's like how to play. Here's some like good decks and stuff. Here's some things to think about. It was like just a total fucking bro. He did that for lots of people. He was just like such a great ambassador for the game. And now people like him and BBG are kind of like, I don't know, they just kind of like moved on, playing like other games and stuff. Kind of makes me sad. They were like, like I don't know, like what do you call them? Like they're important figures in the community, and I feel as if we're starting to lose people.
Nick
still makes plays, right?
I do know that Nick's
Every now and then, Nick moves to a different game for like a week. He's always been like that, though, right? He plays Smash for a week. He plays Pokemon Unite for a week. He plays
has he been back on Runeterra for a while now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He still makes plays, bro.
I know he always comes back.
Yeah.
But
he
like,
hit rank 1.
it's like
That's like
he was
Charizard or
Pokemon him
something
for a
in Pokemon
while.
Unite. I know because I see it in all his titles or something like that. And then he goes back to Runeterra. Yeah. And
No,
Nick
I
still
feel
misses
you,
lock
right?
in. Yep, that's true.
Like when I was starting out, I watched a ton of BBG, right? Like that was who I
Me
watched
too.
during the day.
Yeah, BBG was the guy.
So like
Played so
losing him
much.
from the community like definitely sucks. It feels bad.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I watched
Yeah.
ABG and I actually watched a lot of Nick. Is compared to other people, because like I still didn't watch a lot of Twitch. I'm just like am not a big Twitch person, which is so funny to say
Yeah.
as a Twitch streamer.
Mhm.
I've actually been
I'm
watching it more in the last month than I have in like the last 6 months, probably. Because
You know, it took having such a great streamer on during the night to like pull you in, right?
yeah,
Who's that?
I usually watch so.
This kid.
I usually
Go.
jump on Kato stream, yeah. Because he streams at the time where I'm like done with my stream and then I'm editing, and so I just throw on something in the background, right? And so I just throw on a Kato stream. But like before, I would end and there'd be like a couple of people, like maybe Jason Station was on, and so I'd hang
Well,
out with
me,
him for,
dick.
and then he'd leave. What's up?
I was the nightim streamer for the longest time until I was like, oh hey, there's
Yeah, I was gonna say-
there's no money here.
Until, like,
Bye.
6 months ago, yeah.
Mr. Florent, wasn't there like a tweet that got sent out about you streaming like every day or something? What happened with that?
Oh,
At
that's
4.5
true.
months,
Dude,
bro.
I cannot believe you did
Totally
that.
forgot about that.
I remember talking to you about this, and I was like, bro, why the fuck do you do this? And he's like, I don't even know anymore.
I thought it was the way to get like rich and successful, and then Majo was like, "Hey, I have 500 concurrent viewers, and I'm making not even $1,000 a month." And I was like,
I'm out of here. Yeah.
I'm outta here.
I'm out of here.
later, I like literally that day was like, streak is over, 4.5
I
months.
think you actually,
dead.
I think that we were
Oh,
talking
shit.
like a couple hours before you went on, and I told you that, and you literally did not stream that day. You're like,
Yeah.
yep, nope.
That was the end of the streak.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm fucking done here.
Yep. Pretty ridiculous.
Smooch.
There's no fucking money. I love streaming,
Yeah.
but like I can't feed my fucking beagle with fucking Twitch money, and he's hungry, so hungry.
yeah, Twitch.
Feed your beagle.
You can make a lot of money on Twitch. You gotta hit some big ass numbers, and you gotta put in the hours, dude. It's like
Which is
crazy.
why
Yeah.
you need to go sign up for Raid Shadow Legends with Jason.
Oh, that's the move. Ray just hit me up for YouTube, and I'm like, that's a different
I mean,
kind of sponsor.
The YouTube one is just once, right? That's
It's just
like
once.
a one
It's like a
time.
30-second integration in the beginning. Yeah.
And it's gonna be there forever though.
That's the thing. Yeah. Also, I would rather put sponsors on my Twitch channel because I feel like, I don't know, I like keeping the YouTube pretty like pure, and then I can also demand more money for a Twitch sponsor. And like you said, it's just like if it's like a shit game or whatever, I get to play it and like make fun of it with chat. It's like, you know, whatever. We're just chilling and like roasting it.
Which to be clear, he's not talking about Raid Shadow Legends.
I would never
It's
say
a
this
mere
about
games.
Raid Shadow Legends. I love you so much.
He's talking about a different game.
I don't know. There's like a lot of content creators from like other games that I watch, and you know they get these like sponsorships, but they like integrate the sponsorships with like some like in-game skit that they make that I always find like really interesting.
Those are really creative. Or I watch a lot of skit YouTubers, and the sponsor is a skit, and sometimes even funnier than the actual video.
Mhm.
Also, the YouTube sponsorships, like you have to hit some big numbers before they pay relative to the Twitch sponsorships.
Yeah, speaking of talking to Riot about such things, were you talking about that on stream before we came on, or no?
A tad bit. I mentioned it. I said that I wanted
Okay.
IRL events, and that was pretty much it.
I see. Yeah, one of the things that I brought up was how cool it would be if they helped Riot content creators like all of us find sponsorships, because they obviously have connections to the business world, and it wouldn't be that hard for them to make some sort of portal or something that like connected people.
I actually mentioned that exact same thing. They're like, what would be nice about like having more like Riot events or like, you know, you getting to know people at Riot and stuff. And I was like, I don't have any connections. I can't make any brand deals because I don't know anybody. So like, if they don't reach out to me, I have no way of doing this, and I don't know how. And so I was like, it'd be really cool if there was some way that like, yeah, League Partner Program had like official sponsors or something. That'd be super.
I went to Red Bull headquarters. I like walked in the front door with my resume. I was like, "Hello, I'd like a sponsorship, please." And like, apparently that's not how it's done. I don't know.
What you did?
Fucking bullshit.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
You're supposed to just email that shit in, man. Come on, like what is this? 1980?
All right. I don't have anything else.
Let's wrap it.
Let's wrap it up. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Twitch chat, that's going to be it for me for tonight. I got to go record on YouTube. We got to get to
Go.
Plat 3, boys.
Wait.
You should do that raid or what?
Real quick though, this
Oh,
Sunday, last
Gotta go
qualifier
get on
Master
really quick, I
Runeterra
gotta.
Championship, last fucking chance.
Yep. Be
There's
there
points also.
or be square. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Exclamation mark Ezre's in chat.
Exclamation mark Ezre's in chat. Go vote for me.
Go vote.
Most sexiest. Vote for Henneke.